A very good morning, Zimbabwe. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. President Nelson Chamisa has said something very important. He said, being refined in the furnace of affliction, I'm feeling so charged and fired up. His grace is sufficient. Have a blessed week. God is in it. This is what President Nelson Chamisa has said. A lot of people are concerned about President Nelson Chamisa coming to actually speak through tweets and not coming publicly to give addresses. The major question is President Nelson Chamisa supposed to come out and address the nation uh, via a press conference? No. Personally, I do not see it working in that way. I have seen President Nelson Chamisa communicating through his Twitter handle, his Facebook page, and he has managed to keep the nation of Zimbabwe well informed up to the extent they're supposed to be informed. And he has managed to keep his enemies guessing about his next move. Remember, a judgment was delivered. His MPs were actually barred from contesting in this election. They were actually not on the ballot. So, what I was expecting to see was to say, okay, you guys have been removed from the ballot. So, what was going to happen is that they were supposed to be on the ballot paper, but disqualified, which means every vote they were going to receive was not going to be counted. But the reason why they fought to remove them entirely from the ballot paper was to create an impression that ZANU-PF is loved, that Shavangu and ZANU-PF are the only people who were loved. But what happened is that the people didn't vote in this election. The people didn't participate in this election. The percentage turnout, if you take a look on the percentage turnout, it was so low. That clearly indicated that the people of Zimbabwe does not want the nonsense which is happening. It was a clear indication that the people of Zimbabwe are tired. So, what is the way forward now? President Nelson Chamisa is not ignorant. He's a very wise person. He has applied wisdom several times during his political career. That is the reason why you have seen him being quiet right now and working on his own things quietly. Remember, when you are dealing with vouchers, you have to be creative, you have to be proactive, you have to know what needs to be done and what you must not do. If you speak too much, there is a possibility that you give leads of whatever you are planning to some people. So it's good for President Nelson Chamisa to be quiet, to keep people speculating up until it becomes right for him to come out publicly and say, this is the way forward. This is where we are going from now, going forward. If Nelson Chamisa is to speak, he will be preempting whatever he is planning, whatever he wants to do, whatever his next step is. Nobody knows the actual time frames of the events which will happen in the nation of Zimbabwe. Nobody knows. Some people just know that there are certain events which are going to happen in the nation of Zimbabwe. What kind of events? No one knows. When? No one knows. So I know that those who are aligned to ZANU-PF, they are eager to know what's next for Chamisa. I know that there are certain people who are eager to be the first people to report about what's next. But is that relevant? No. That is the reason why you have seen for the past few days, I was quiet, focusing on something else because there is nothing to talk about at this moment. There is nothing important to talk about at this moment. And there is more to come in the future. So there is no need for the people of Zimbabwe to panic. There is no need for the people of Zimbabwe to actually rush President Nelson Chamisa to say this, say that. No, there is no need. So let me try to take a look onto the responses from the people, because this is a tweet he made, and it's a very important one. So he said, "You meant evil, but God meant it for good." Joseph said to them, Do not be afraid, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive. So he quoted Genesis chapter 50, verse 19 to 20. He said, wishing you a worry-free and blessed Sabbath. So he went on to say, this is a response to the viable option for the people: form your government in silence, grow the structures, ED end is near. You have the whole team of ministers, permanent secretaries, ambassadors, and etc. in place. You have a parallel government structure. We must have people weekly updating on state of affairs. Okay, this is Fox Humba Zvikanze. The greatest deception happening now in Zimbabwe, ED is a master of distractions. Instead of Zimbabweans talking about rigged elections, we are now blaming the innocent and unarmed. We prophesied ED and FAS causing chaos. The legitimate president is now being persecuted by ZANU-PF surrogates. The gold mafia bag is controlling so many unprincipled people right now. Judas Iscariot have sold their destinies for 30 pieces of silver. Why are you not made at ED? Self-confessed Barabbas, about whatever evil is happening in Zimbabwe. Remember, ED famous statement: politics is not church, meaning their cabal is armed with evil to the teeth. God have mercy upon the deceived. God open their eyes. Amen. So this is what Apostle Joe had to say in regarding to what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. So the major concern is that people want to see Nelson Chamisa talking. They want to see Nelson Chamisa addressing press conferences because of what happened during the elections. But the major question is he supposed to do that? In my opinion, in my own view, no. There is no need to do so. There is no explanation Nelson Chamisa should give. There are certain elements within the politics of Zimbabwe, the professionals in Zimbabwe, the influencers in Zimbabwe. We have seen them giving different narratives, having different stories, but they need Nelson Chamisa to speak so that they find solace and they make their own thinking viral because of Nelson Chamisa's utterances or Nelson Chamisa's press. But if it doesn't come, it means whatever narrative they will be driving will die natural death, because every Zimbabwean wants to hear from Nelson Chamisa himself. Even those within ZANU-PF, they want to hear from Nelson Chamisa. Even those who are actually planning all these things, they actually want to hear from Nelson Chamisa, but to no avail. So I believe that this is a good strategy for President Nelson Chamisa, because there is nothing to talk about, there is nothing to express at this moment in time. He simply needs to wait for the right time for him to strike and for him to actually fight back. And I believe that there is a plan, and we will start to see new things happening in the nation of Zimbabwe differently. But is he supposed to move first? No. I believe that those within ZANU-PF must make a move against ED first. Then you start to see history being rewritten. It is what it is. Let us talk in the comment section. What do you think?